Shalom. First thing and foremost, I'm going to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace and blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Noise in the gospel abroad, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is another lesson through the Spirit. It says Charlie Kirk Anomaly's death announced 6 days prior before shooting. Mystery books 33 all over and more. As you know, the brothers, myself, did a couple of lessons on this whole Charlie Kirk ordeal, how this is ritualistic at its best. Psyops being the new wave of events here that hit America, which, you know, America has been one big psyop since its inception, to be technically honest. It's nothing new under the sun. But anyway, with this whole Charlie Kirk ordeal, it just seemed kind of abrupt. And if you notice, he's been speaking against the small hats and going into how Epstein was an agent for Israel, and, you know, the list goes on. And then they clipped him in the midst of a speech about gun violence and thugs and YNs and all this other shit. So the scriptures say that we're not ignorant of Satan's devices, because this is nothing more but Satan's device at the end of the day. On a grand scheme of things, this is nothing more but to put certain parameters in order so Esau could be justified on labeling you Jakes and you people of Babylon enemies of the state, because ultimately you have to have certain provisions in place in order to keep the people in the hurdle in a gulag, all right, physically, mentally, and spiritually. That way you could control their items, you know. So it says Charlie Kirk Anomaly's death announced 6 days before shooting. So this was already planned, all right, because a lot of times too, and I've called a couple of these things because, like, even with certain celebrities, they may announce the celebrity, such and such passed away, such and such, 2 weeks before the actual event. Then all of a sudden he ended up dying. Okay, so it's all a psyop, man. And when you go into the word psyop, which we know what it means, psyop, P-S-Y, psyop meanings, right? And they like to call shit conspiracy, but I mean, it's just what it is. Okay, oh, that's a conspiracy. Well, conspiracy was made popular during the time of the JFK assassination, in which your own government specifically signed off on that, the word conspiracy. Now when people use it against the better half, then all of a sudden now you're just a conspiracy theorist, which they demonize that term from hell. But it says a psyop, short for psychological operations, refers to military activities designed to influence the perceptions, emotions, and behaviors of target populations such as foreign governments, organizations, and individuals to achieve U.S. specifically military and political objectives. It says these operations use a non-lethal method, including distribution of leaflets, radio broadcasts, social media campaigns, to alter beliefs and attitudes and promote desired actions, often as part of a military information support operations, which is called a MISO. All right. And essentially it's witchcraft, because it's really deception. Okay. When you take a certain demographic and you sway the population that this is the problem, that's a psychological operation, a psyop, which plays on the psyche and the mind of the people, because now you got people all divided over this devil getting his top pop, you know, over certain talking points, which, you know, he made a lot of good statements. But at the end of the day, he didn't give a shit about you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and he was controlled opposition. Okay, just like Candace Owens, just like Myron Gaines, fucking Glenn Beck, Sean Ryan, Alex Jones, what's this other guy's name? The other dude, David Hott. All these, they're all controlled opposition, to say the least. Okay, so it says the purpose of a psyop is to sway foreign audience and achieve military and political goals by influencing their emotions, motives, and behaviors. Okay, which oftentimes can lead into violence, because when you have a certain synopsis on a particular group of people that they're this way, when in reality you're that way, then that can set people up to get hurt out there. That could set people to get judged, man. You know, like saying so-called all so-called black people are violent and criminals and thugs, when that's not even the case. But yet, when I go into a convenience store, I'm looked at as a criminal because of the psychological operation of a few niggas, which our nation is wicked. Don't get it twisted. Jake is very wicked. But, you know, it is what it is. So anyway, I got two videos I'm gonna play, but first let's get this video here. This scripture here, then we're gonna play the video. 2 Corinthians 2:11, it says, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we're not ignorant of his devices. Okay? It says we're not ignorant of his devices. So this is all part of Satan's plan. Esau, Edom, which is the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan. Okay, his plan is to get the New World Order completely established, including the mark of the beast, the RFID chip, and to put you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans back in hardcore slavery and actually doing away with you, killing you off. Okay, and that's just the bottom line of it. So let's play this first video by Dabu. Here we go.
Details here to go over in terms of the Charlie Kirk shooting. And it seems people out there had foreknowledge, as you're about to see. On the left is a screenshot from a video that was posted 6 days before the shooting by the character.
You see, they had a different narrative, so they was already talking about clipping this guy because they already had the narrative. It just how they was gonna go about doing it, and find out they said sniper, because that was a hit. That wasn't just some trend. That wasn't some fluky ass fluky ass shot. That was a professional hit. The way that the bullet hit him and the angle, because allegedly he had a bulletproof vest on, and allegedly it hit off the armor plating and hit him in the neck. Okay, I think potentially the shot was supposed to go straight through the heart, but according to certain sources, it hit him in the chest and it ricocheted and hit him in the neck. Okay, because he had a bullet on, which shows you that if he had a bulletproof vest on of that caliber, and somebody fired a shot from that distance, that had to be some hardcore shit, man. You know?
You see on the screen, and in it, they are citing that the Charlie Kirk account, official account, posted that they were sad to announce that Charlie had passed away. He was found inside of his Florida home. That's what this said. So,
and if you're a notable figure and they want to clip your ass, hey, they already got the story already written up, probably months in advance before they decide to do it. They already got how they gonna take you out. They already got what they gonna write in a memo, okay? And they come up with these manifestos as to why the person did it, which don't make no sense. Like this dude, Luigi Mangione, that clipped that dude of United Healthcare. We ain't heard nothing else about that. You know, what good old Luigi at, man? Is he still in prison, or did they let him out the back door, or what? Because I can tell you for a fact, Luigi ain't shoot that fucking CEO. That was all part of a psychological operation, man. As usual.
it was calling out his death in a different manner, though, 6 days earlier. And it's said to have come from the official account. But when you go back and look, it's not there on his official account. Regardless, this post was made, this comment, everything was put out in a video, and it did happen. We also have all the talk of these books being published on the day that he was shot. All these books getting kicked out, which no one had time to think of, to type up, to gather all the information, and to even put this stuff out. Now, what's...
And Esau is getting sloppy, man. I mean, he's losing the narrative. He's losing control of the narrative. Anybody with half brain cells working know that Israel had a lot to do with this, man. All right, I mean, they're just from the resources that I've speculated on and that I've seen. And I mean, come on, man, it's Esau, but it's getting sloppy, okay? Because the scriptures say, has wisdom vanished out of Teman? You devils are getting sloppy, man. You're losing it. Okay, this is the book of Jeremiah 49. In 7, it says prophecy against Edom, okay? And we know who Edom is. It's Esau. Okay, Edom, which means red, right? And it says, concerning Edom, thus says Yahweh of hosts, is wisdom no more in Teman? Because, I mean, y'all published this shit 6 days before it happened, and an average dummy in America, they don't even take heed to it. They don't even see it. They like, wait a minute. I'm like, yeah, the American people are just slow. They're slow bellies, man. Okay, and that's because they're completely calcified in their mind because of the foods, the weather, you know, the geoengineering, the TVs, and all the other trash and garbage that they're putting in people's minds, man. All right. It says, is counsel perished from the prudent? It says, is their wisdom vanished? And obviously, because I mean, these psyops are getting more and more ridiculous to the point a third grader could dissect what's going on with these devils, bro. All right.
Pretty crazy here is Amazon has put out a statement connected to this whole thing, saying that they have removed this book and that there's an investigation on this book in question. They say that they have a content guidelines set in place for all books that can be listed. They remove books that do not adhere to these guidelines. They say the title in question is no longer available for sale. Due to a technical issue, the date of the publication that had been displayed for this title, while it was briefly listed, was incorrect, and we apologize for any confusion that this may have caused. The title was published in the afternoon on September 10th. That's what they try to say here, and all these places are trying to say the same thing, and it's not just one, it's many different places, many different books. You can see a different one here. And you can see the date here, September 10th, is the publishing date. The Legacy of Charlie Kirk. All these books getting kicked out. How? A ton of people asking the question, how? How is this even possible? Let's also throw in that Jezebel, their official account, said that we paid some Etsy witches to curse Charlie Kirk. And this was on the 8th. You can see the timestamp on it right there. Articles that were posted with the breaking news showing 13 hours ago.
Bro got the receipts on him, man. You devils are cooked. People are dissecting your shit. That's why the scriptures say that all the hands of the wicked should come upon him. Bro, Esau is cooked. He's cold. That's that scripture in Isaiah. Also, I think it's the one in I think it is it Nahum? No, I don't think it's Nahum. Maybe. But it goes into uncover the thigh, the nakedness, the skirt. I know we have one in Isaiah 47 too, but shameful spirits should be on thy glory, bro. This is all a poorly orchestrated, generated hit. Okay, no nigga had nothing to do with this. No trans activist had anything to do with this. Like just like the school shootings and shit. All that shit is psychological because the same day this dude gets clipped, another school shooting takes place, and that wasn't even really mentioned like that. That was out of the news, but yet they're still talking about this. Why? Because they need to sway your mind and they need to keep you distracted because bigger shit is coming down the pipe. Okay, because people are talking about this alone has created more of a civil division among the people because now it's turned into a bigger war between the left wing and the right wing when essentially they're part of the same goddamn bird, man. For you slow bellies out there. It says, flee ye and turn back, dwell deep among harvesters of Dedan, for I will bring your calamity of Esau upon him and the time that I will visit him. Okay. But verse 10, it says here, but I've made Esau bare. I've uncovered his secret places and he should not be able to hide himself. Yeah, he's getting exposed everywhere, bro. It's to the point, nigga, you exposed. The spotlight is on you. All right. It's like, it's this, like on GTA, right? When you get a 4 or 5, 6-star winning level, you can't invade them. Like if you can evade them niggas at a 5 to 6-star rating, then you good. All right. 4, you can do it. 3, that's easy. When you get the 5 and 6-star rating level, the winning levels, that's when shit get a little complicated because now you got SWAT, you got the FBI on your ass, you got the helicopter. You can't get away. All right, no matter where you go, they got it, everything. They got the whole map lit looking for you. So that's how it is with Esau. He's caught out there. You know what I'm saying? The Most High got his ass in that line of sight. Like, yeah, you caught, bro. You know? But it says, I've made Esau bare. I've uncovered his secret places, and he should not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not. So you're getting ready to be spoiled, man. Okay? I quoted it. Might as well pull it up. It's in Nahum 3. Nahum 3, and I'm going to start at verses 4. It says, because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, Babylon the Great, the mistress of witchcraft, because psyop is essentially witchcraft, because witchcraft deals with deception. It says the mistress of witchcraft that selleth nations through her whoredoms and families through her witchcraft, her sorcery. All right. It says, behold, I'm against thee, says Yahweh of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will show the nations thy nakedness and the kingdoms thy shame, and I will cast abominable filth upon thee and make thee vile and will set thee as a gazing stock. So that's why people were coming up against you now. Okay, the government has lost more trust within the last 10 years than any other time. Okay, even really going back to the time of 911, doing 2001, around this time, and I say it that way. The government has been losing all types of credibility with the citizens because they know that this system is crooked, is wicked. All right.
Right when all this broke loose, warnings that were put out by Charlie himself that if anything happened to him, it would be a certain entity or a certain someone that would be behind it.
Amalek, bro.
He made this loud and clear. Kash Patel announcing today that this whole thing was solved in under 30-some hours, 33 hours to be exact, leaving their signature.
33. Okay, you got your 33-degree Masons. All right, your Freemasons, which I don't believe that's the highest. I don't believe that's the highest you can go. But when you look up 33, the 33rd degree Mason, allegedly, dragon status. That's like where all the secrets are revealed. All right, because lower level Masons, they don't have all the secrets, but a 33rd degree Mason, the lodges and so forth, they understand that their power comes from Satan, and they're revealed that they have to swear in secrecy, and also that they have to they know that their power comes from Satan. Okay, but they have to deny it because they got something which is called plausible deniability when they get to deny any ill dealings. Okay. But 33 is 33 that's a high number. That's witchcraft. Okay. The number 33 and free. And of course they give you some convoluted madness, BS. But it says in Freemasonry, the number 33 refers to the 33rd degree, the highest honorary degree in ancient and accepted Scottish rite. It says this degree is not earned by application, but is conferred by the Supreme Council, the Scottish Rite Masons, to recognize that outstanding service, right, and dedication to the fraternity and humanity. It says the number 33 symbolizes mastery, wisdom, and self-service, representing the pinnacle of Masonic knowledge and a deep spiritual significance within order. Yeah, sorcery, witchcraft. All right. That's why they use the number so much. 23, 47, 33. They have what they call numerology. Okay. And they go off particular constellations and numbers and so forth on the left-hand side.
And wouldn't you know, thanks to the numerology, we can see that from the day Trump stepped in office to this date, September 10th, it was 33 weeks, 3 days with a reduction of 33. And then when you go from September 11th to October 14th, which was Charlie Kirk's birthday, it was 33. It's all there. And who is this goon Omar, who suspiciously removed the post and then the account no longer exists? This character that you see right here dropped this, that Charlie is coming to my college tomorrow and he hopes someone evaporates him, and goes on to say, let's just say that something big will happen tomorrow. He knew in advance. And now it's all gone. Thankfully, I got screenshots. So what in the world is going on with all these anomalies surrounding us? Well, I think you know. Join me for the live streams, going live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern. And tonight, diving down the rabbit holes connected to this and a whole lot more. I hope to see you guys there.
Damn.
This will be the last video I make for now.
But hey, that is what it is. As we just read, Esau's been exposed, man. All right. Let's go here. Psalms 33, and I'm going to start at verses 10. It says, "For the Lord bringeth the counsel of the heathen to naught, and he maketh the devices of the people of none effect." Okay, none effect, because this is nothing more but a counsel of the wicked. Now, all this dealings that they're doing to set up this new world order and to push certain mandates on certain people, okay, that's not of elite status. At the end of the day, it's all going to be null and void. Okay, it's going to come to naught because the Heavenly Father, he's getting ready to intervene. You see, one more precept, then I got one more video, then we'll end it. This is the book of Psalms. Matter of fact, let's do this. Let's go to Isaiah 29. And 15. It says, "Woe to them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord, and their works are in the dark, and they say, who seeth us, who knoweth us?" Yeah, Masons operate behind a curtain. You would never see the elites as far as the upper echelon of Esau's, his dukes. You would never see the Rothschilds. Even if you see them walking the streets, the average person wouldn't be able to point them out of a lineup because, you know, they're behind the curtain. They're the wizard behind the curtain. You know, you see Trump because Trump is the face of an organization. He's a puppet. But the people that run Trump, you will never see them dudes out there in the hood or just walking among them. Or they may be at some type of convention or something where they drive by in their limos. But you ain't going to catch the elites hanging out at the local pub and bar. All right? You ain't going to catch David Rockefeller or Evelyn Rothschild, which I believe they both dead, by the way. But you ain't going to catch them at the Kansas City Chiefs game, at least in the stands. All right? One more precept, we end it. Psalm 64. And I started verses. It started 2. It says, "Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity." That's your elites, your luminaries, who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. And this is what they did. Okay? Suddenly they do shoot at him and fear not. And Charlie Kirk was not the perfect. Okay? He was the wicked. He was the devil. He didn't give a shit about Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, which who does, right? But the point is, you know, he got clipped. It was already in the cards. And I think he knew it was coming. He had it coming. He knew. And it says, "They encourage themselves in an evil matter, and they commune of laying snares privately. They say, who shall see them?" Yeah, because, like I said, they do things ritualistic with numbers and behind the scenes. They pray to little deities behind, you know, in dungeons and underground in these chambers, and they bring it to light, according to Micah, the 2nd chapter. It says, "They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thought of every one of them in the heart is deep think tanks. But the power should shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly they should be wounded. So should they make their own tongue to fall upon themselves, and all that see them should flee away." All right, this is why you have a lot of whistleblowers coming out and exposing their ass, man. Candace Owens being one of the big ones, you know. But anyway, with that, all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Lord's will, you will edify. Until the next lesson. Shalom.
Y'all don't find it weird? Y'all don't find it a little strange, though? Listen, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I am conspiracy adjacent. So travel down this rabbit hole with me real quick. 2 weeks ago, while Charlie Kirk was in South Korea, he had this to say.
"Buddy, I'm here in South Korea, by the way. I'm here in a park at night. That's the most dangerous thing that I just saw, which was a black cat. No bombs, no people trying to attack you. It's amazing. Crime is a choice. And here in South Korea, they decide not to put up with crime. We should do the same." South Korea, as you can see, everyone, they have these like inflatable cushy chairs. Everyone is reading. This would last about 35 seconds.
Hiring some of these positive things from South Korea, which are in part only possible because South Korea has universal basic health care and some of the strictest gun laws in the world. Now, I'm not suggesting Charlie Kirk had some massive change of heart and he came back to the States and said, "Hey guys, maybe we could do with some gun reform. And how about that universal basic health care? Let's get on that." That sparked some discourse in his camp that some people just didn't want him to have. Now, fast forward a couple of days to the morning of September 3rd, where Representatives Tom Massey, Ro Khanna, along with Congressperson Marjorie Taylor Greene, host some of Epstein survivors' victims on the steps of the Capitol building. While one of Epstein's victims is sharing her testimony, does an F-35 jet ordered by the White House fly over the Capitol building, supposedly to honor a fallen Polish fighter pilot. Representatives calling for bipartisan support in a vote to release the unrestricted, unredacted Jeffrey Epstein files. And then Charlie Kirk had this to say a couple days later.
I think the DOJ should immediately move to unseal all the Epstein documents in the Southern District of New York.
In just mere hours after Charlie Kirk is unalived on a Utah campus, does Senate vote 51-49 not to release the files, without even mentioning the fact that a private plane took off close to 10 minutes after it happened, close to the campus. Y'all don't find it weird though? I think there's a lot more to this story than we're being told.
Something's wrong. I know I shouldn't do this. I'm risking an awful lot to go up against this FBI, the MAGA FBI. Something's very wrong with what I just heard. I mean, I watched it. I was hoping that they had caught the bastard who shot Charlie. So we saw a video of a person jumping off the roof. It looked very legitimate to me. However, there was no rifle in his hand. Now, the Mauser does not break down very easily, incidentally, for those of you who know weapons. Something's wrong with the whole thing. They're trying to claim he removed the barrel from the Mauser and fit the receiver and stock in his backpack and barrel in his pants leg all in 2 seconds. It is not easy to remove a Mauser barrel or index it after reinstalling and remain accurate. We are not hearing or seeing reality. And by the way, the photo of the rifle allegedly left in the woods has the barrel installed. So we're supposed to believe a guy is on the run after killing Charlie Kirk, and he pauses in the woods to reinstall a barrel, and then he leaves it for us to find, the FBI to find. I don't believe a word of it. I shouldn't do this. I know I'm putting myself at risk, but I can't take it anymore. I can't take the bullshit from this fucking government. It's lying to us. Something's wrong. Something's so wrong. It's sickening. Look at this idiot. They found the rifle and they're getting the prints. Are you stupid? Are you that stupid? Are you that dumb? The man jumps off the roof. There's no rifle there. Oh, it's in his backpack. I just told you, moron, that this rifle doesn't break down that easily. And then it's supposed to be reassembled while he's on the run. Wait, I'll stop now and reassemble it and leave it in the woods in a box, wrapped in a towel. He left breadcrumbs. Oh, and the trans stuff on the cartridges. Bullshit. Something is wrong with this whole fucking picture. I am persona non grata in this White House. I will tell you right now. I flew with Donald Trump in Air Force One. I consider him close to me. I have not been able to get near him since this administration took hold. They have thrown me out. They've castigated, thrown me in the desert. They don't want me near them. They don't want real truth tellers near them. Sean Hannity immediately, that pimp scumbag, goes on the air and repeats the government lie, that lousy son of a bitch. How the fuck does Sean Hannity live with himself?